of invasive species, according to a new survey conducted by the Central Michigan Cooperative Invasive Species Management Area. The organization found nearly 770 invasive species from Edenville to Saginaw. Researchers say the failure of the dams in spring of 2020 are the main contributing factor to the explosion along the river. Some of the species include zebra mussels, buckthorn, purple loosestrife, and more. The researchers say while there's no threat to humans, they do pose risks to wildlife in the area. They caution people to be aware of the potential impact we might have on the environment, such as when boaters use the river, then empty their tanks in another body of water, contributing to the spread of those species. Police in Saginaw are investigating a shooting which took place this morning. The shooting was reported around 1:30. Saginaw County Central Dispatch says it occurred at a home on East Remington Street. No suspect or victim information is available at this time. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Motown Legends, The Temptations. Saturday night, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Hempston Tops, together again. Tickets start at $34. On sale now at the Soaring Eagle, at Eagles Landing box offices, or online at etix.com. T&T, together again. The legendary Motown sound, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino. Just like Peterson. Ain't no woman like the one I got. Spend part of Thanksgiving weekend with the Temps and Tops at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The way you do the things you do, the way you do, oh, baby, I need your love. Motown's Fab Five and Famous Four, The Temptations, and Four Tops. Tickets on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
WSGW News Time. Forecast is next. In western Oakland County, an ultralight glider crashed into a lake last night. The Lyon Township Fire Department says the small airplane-like craft crashed into a lake in the Mill River subdivision near Milford Road. The pilot, a 24-year-old Livonia man, had taken off from the airport in New Hudson and had been in the air for 10 to 15 minutes before the engine seized, causing him to force a landing into the pond. He wasn't hurt, but the plane was severely damaged. Michigan is expected to announce its 1 millionth confirmed COVID-19 case this week. Later today, the state health department will release the latest case numbers, which are just shy of 1 million. Cases took a dip late last week with an average of about 2,800 cases per day on Thursday and Friday. We'll also get a look at new school outbreaks today. More than 70 outbreaks were reported in Michigan schools last Monday. Hundreds of policymakers and community leaders will be gathering on Mackinac Policy Conference. Wright Lassiter III, who is this year's conference chair and the president and CEO of Henry Ford Health System, says reimagining a healthy Michigan is the main theme.
We want to think broadly about what it means to be healthy, what it means for each member of the state, each resident of the state to be healthy. And as a healthcare executive, I can attest that medical care, while important, only accounts for a small percentage of a person's overall health.
Along with private conversations taking place, many of the discussions will focus on recovering from the pandemic and advancing racial justice and equity. Ford plans to resume production at Flat Rock Assembly Plant today. The company says it's been testing air at the plant since it became aware of the gas leak earlier this month and will continue to do that as it returns to full production. The automaker says air quality readings have continually shown the air. Says it also replaced its underground gasoline piping with above-ground piping, which was inspected and approved by licensing and regulatory affairs. Hundreds of residents are still waiting to get the green light to move back into their homes following the spill. WSGW News Time, 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. For today, mostly cloudy, showers and storms possible late. We'll see a high in the lower 80s. Tonight, we'll look for more shower and storm chances across the region. Lows around 67, with winds out of the south up to 15 miles per hour. On Tuesday, a good chance of showers and storms under cloud cover. Highs around 75, with winds out of the southwest at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. On Tuesday night, we'll look for more shower and storm chances. Lows around 54. Showers possible on Wednesday, lower 60s. I'm Derek Dolman with the Wsgw Weatherology for it's 67.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning to you, and welcome to another edition, a Monday edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Hope you had a great weekend and got out and enjoyed some of the nice weather we had. We are expecting a call from Greg Peterson of the Peterson Farm Family Band. They're going to be in Frankenmuth this weekend. They use parody to educate people about agriculture, and they are Kansas farmers themselves, but we haven't heard from them yet. So until we do, we're going to have open lines. I know the next hour is open phones anyway, so we'll just start out with open phones. Our numbers are 752-6111. Toll free in the state of Michigan is 866-790-WSGW. Outside the state, call 989-752-6111. Whatever you'd like to chat about, we would love to chat with you about it this morning. A couple of things making some news this morning. First of all, let us not talk about the Emmy Awards because I did not watch so much as a second of them. I have reached the point in my life where I'm tired of watching people pat themselves on the back, if that makes sense. Now, I understand it's nice to be recognized for what you do and all of that. But they've gotten, at one time you could watch the Emmys, the Oscar Awards, and some of the others and be entertained. Now, half of it's about either politics or issues, and I don't need that. So I have decided not to watch any of them. So I did not watch a lick of them. I did read a few things about some of the shows that won awards, and I'm not familiar with any of them. However, what I am familiar with is streaming has become huge. And I predict that in the near future, if not now, but certainly in the near future, streaming will be the major way we watch television. Streaming services, you'll combine them, you'll pay monthly fees to streaming services in combination with one another. You may have Netflix over here and Disney Plus over here and what have you. And when you add them all up, they'll probably still be cheaper than cable. And I think what's going to happen is that we're going to see cable distributors figure out how to become streaming distributors. They're going to lose a substantial portion of their audience because their prices are getting out of sight. It will probably also have a negative impact on satellite delivery. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But as I said, I didn't watch a lick of the awards. I don't have the streaming services. I'm only familiar with them. So it's something I'm in the process of learning more about. And eventually I might have to sit down with pen and paper and see what makes sense to me and my family. You never know. In the political world, the Democrats received a significant blow when the parliamentarian in the Senate ruled that the Democrats cannot give immigrants a citizenship pathway in the spending bill they're working on. That is not a surprise. The reconciliation process they are using, that they want to use, which eliminates the filibuster, is designed for monetary or budget issues, if you will, not anything under the sun that you want to throw in it. And the notion of putting immigration rules into it didn't pass muster. There's going to be some other issues that is going to be difficult to put in there. We're talking about the $3.5 trillion package that's supposed to bolster social and climate programs. And it was also to give millions of immigrants a chance to become citizens. Well, that isn't going to happen. The question now is, will Elizabeth McDonough, she is the Senate parliamentarian and interprets the various rules in place, will she knock out some other issues from that package? The Democrats are facing numerous problems with this package. Now they have another one. They can't put one of their leading issues in the package, and they can't seem to satisfy a couple of moderate Democrats like Joe Manchin and Ms. Sweeney, who think the package is way out of line and way too expensive. So they will have to come up with another way. In the meantime, Nancy Pelosi's on the hot seat now because she had originally threatened not to take up the hard infrastructure bill, the $1.2 trillion bill. But now that one is scheduled for a vote on the 27th of this month. However, the progressives in the party have told her they might not vote for it, because if they don't get their way of the big spending bill, so she's getting hit from both sides. It will be interesting to see what happens. Bob is in Saginaw, so we're going to begin there. Bob, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How you doing today?
We're doing all right.
That's good. Hey, I just calling to not talk about what you said not to talk about, because I feel exactly the way you said everything you said about it. And I didn't watch a second of it either. And then as far as the cable goes, a couple years ago, my wife and I, we don't watch a lot of television, but we do watch the news and things like that. Anyway, I bought this little antenna and put it on my roof, and we get enough channels that we don't need cable. It takes you a while to go through all the channels just to figure out what's it's free. It comes into my house free. So anyway, the cable company kind of screwed themselves when they kept upping their money, and I can't imagine going back to the cable and then have to go through 100 stations to figure out what I want to see, when I have to go through 30 of them or so to figure out what I want to see, and half the program's over by the time I get to my show.
Yeah, well, I will admit we have cable. They're not only my TV provider, but they're my internet and phone provider too. So I have it all bundled in a package. And the programs that we choose to watch wouldn't come in on an antenna. We like a lot of the Food Network stuff and some of the history stuff. So, but they're all available now on streaming services. And the question is there a better way to get them?
Well, there's some programs that I missed the Hallmark channel, believe it or not.
Sure.
I missed the Hallmark channel, but as far as the cooking channels, you go to PBS and they have all kinds of great shows.
Yeah, they do, but they don't have the ones we like to watch. Although I will tell you this, we do watch, and my wife particularly watches some of the PBS cooking shows. She does watch those, but she also watches some others. So right now, anyway, we're in the discovery phase. We're looking at other things.
Gotcha. As far as the cooking goes, though, we miss you and Sue.
Well, thank you. I just had lunch with her the other day. She's doing well.
Well, if you see her again, tell her I said hi.
All right, Bob. Thanks.
Okay, have a great day, Art.
You too. Bye-bye now. All right, Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111, toll free, 866-790-WSGW. And we will get to Mike in Bay City after some notes this morning. The Art Lewis Show, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty, located inside the Point in Saginaw. New to the Point is Cafe 476, your new coffee stop with a bird's eye view, serving espresso, coffee, tea, bubbles, lemonade, smoothies, frozen yogurt, and more, including, by the way, my smoothie. The Art Lewis smoothie is on the menu. Chocolate, banana, and pineapple. They also have locally made fresh donuts, pastries, and danishes, and food items added daily, like their cherry almond chicken salad croissant. If you like them on Facebook, you'll get updates on all their new menu items, so stop in. The new Cafe 476 in the Point, where M46 and M47 meet, off Gratiot and Saginaw, the former ISD building. And for all your real estate needs, residential or commercial, give Linda Shepard a call at Pinnacle Realty, 295-7713, 989-295-7713. We'll be back after these notes.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with British accents. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, take it from a Brit.
Oi, barmy insurance bloke's fetching dosh out your pocket. It's barmy. Liberty Mutual won't leave you skint, mate.
Can you just say Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for
I said you blooming.
what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Now that commission-free trading is the norm, it's time to rethink how we define value. Value is more than a price tag. It's the confidence of knowing you have a team of traders on standby to answer any question. It's Thinkorswim's charting and analysis tools, and it's a personalized education to fine-tune your skills. Value is becoming smarter with every commission-free online equity trade. Discover true value with TD Ameritrade, where smart investors get smarter.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine Pancreatic Insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where will break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
CVS is hiring 25,000 workers starting this month. The drugstore chain is holding a hiring event on Friday. It's looking to hire nurses, pharmacists, and retail workers. CVS says it's preparing for the coming demand for flu shots, COVID boosters, for COVID vaccines. Steel company Nucor says it's looking to build a new steel mill. It is looking at locations in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. The plant will make sheet steel. The debt of China's Evergrande Group is weighing on markets. Evergrande is a huge property developer with investors around the world. It's not able to make a debt payment, and that has raised concerns China's government will allow it to fail, meaning shareholders and bondholders will lose money. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you. Oh, I'm ready. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. But like any air filter, the more clogged up it gets, the less it works. So how do you clean your nose? I'm Martin Hoke, and I didn't invent nasal irrigation. The neti pot's been around thousands of years. But I did invent Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage has over 70,000 online reviews averaging 4.7 stars because it works and it's easy to use. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Now available with eucalyptus for a spa-like experience. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Breaks it to the left, fights, and he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Hassan Haskins.
Big Ten play begins with Michigan hosting Rutgers. Live Saturday afternoon at 2:30 on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW for this Monday morning. And Mike is in Bay City. Mike, good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning, Art. A couple quick points. Don't have cable, don't watch any award shows. And as far as that reconciliation bill,
yep.
A couple things. They need to take out the provision to tax our Social Security, and they need to insert a bill requiring common sense.
Good luck with that.
Oh, I know that's gone. That's been gone for years. But other than that, I just don't feel I need to pay for television.
Yeah, the reconciliation bill. Back to that for a moment. The Social Security part of it. I assume you're talking about their attempt to tax Social Security. But it's always been taxed. But if it's your only income, you fall way below the level that gets taxed. If you get Social Security with other things and it's part of your income, you pay tax on it. I pay tax on it.
Oh, yeah. So do I. And I don't need it. I don't think that people that are strictly on Social Security, they don't need it taxed. I mean, you already paid the tax.
Yeah, well, they don't. But if people that are strictly on Social Security, they don't get taxed anyway because their income falls short of the minimums, so they most likely would not see a tax. If they have, if they have that coupled with a pension or other things that might get taxed or investments, then they might get taxed if it falls in because it's part of your income. If you're working stiff like me and I'm taking it out of one pocket and paying the government and they're giving it back to me in the other. So, and then they tax me on it. So,
one more thing.
Yep, sure.
I've seen a report and there's people moving to stop this, but Biden with his tax reform, he wants to require banks and credit unions to report any purchase of $600 or more.
$600 or more.
Yes. And he wants the IRS to have the right to get into your bank account and see your spending habits.
Yeah.
And any purchase of $600 or more, they want reported, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just overreach. It's his version of cradle to grave government. And
Yeah,
I don't buy into that.
stop.
Government doesn't have all the answers.
I don't believe they have that many answers.
Yeah, they may not. Some of their answers aren't good ones.
But they do not know what's best for me or my children or
Well,
grandchildren.
they
I'm
think
sorry,
they do.
They just don't.
Well, they think they
Oh,
do.
I know, but
There's an
they haven't
interesting
signed up for-
story. The headline of the story was Republicans hope to re-energize Tea Party in spending fight. So it'll be interesting to see because we haven't heard a lot from the Tea Party in recent times. So it'll be interesting
we
to
haven't.
be interesting to see if this $3.5 trillion boondoggle they're talking about re-energizes them.
Oh, I hope it fails. Not the Tea Party, but the
No, I understand that. Yeah. Well, right now they're in trouble because they haven't. They're getting it from both sides. The moderate faction, led by Joe Manchin, won't vote for the $3.5 trillion, and the progressives won't do anything unless they get $3.5 trillion or more. And to tell you how much more, yesterday on one of the morning talk shows, I don't remember which one, Bernie Sanders was on, and they asked him about the notion of would he reduce the $3.5 trillion. Absolutely not. The $3.5 trillion was a compromise. We wanted more. Well, how are you going to pay for that? There's no concept of reality. Somewhere along the line, there's a disconnect.
yeah, and I think it starts after they get elected the first time.
Yeah,
with a lot of them, I really do. I mean, it's terrible. They have to sit down and use some common sense on some issues.
Well, that seems to be. I've said that for years that it's been abandoned in Washington. It's all political sense rather than common sense, And I just, I've said for a long time, I'm a reasonably moderate person, and I've said for a long time that there are good ideas on both sides. The trick is to sit down and extract the good ideas from the left and right, put them together into a bill that makes sense. That's the way it used to be done.
Exactly.
It's the way it used to be done. Not done that way anymore.
Oh, I know.
And now they fight their battles in the media. It's just, I don't know.
Oh, I know. And it's like the media is trying to decide what's best for the country.
In some cases, yeah.
Yeah, in some cases. And
all right.
I just can't buy into any of it because, like you, I'm a moderate. I think that both sides have good ideas.
Stand your ground. Stand your ground, Mike.
I am. I stand it every day.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Take care. Bye-bye now. And in Saginaw, we have Chris waiting for us this morning. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning, Chris.
The gentleman mentioned that $600 thing about the government.
Yep.
The banks have to report. That didn't make it.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? I missed it.
Fell through. It did not make it.
It did not make it? Good. Glad to hear it.
No. It still goes back to the $10,000.
Yeah, well.
You get deposit over 10, or if you take 10 out of cash, the banks have to turn your Social Security into the IRS.
I think we're going to see a lot of things fall through because I don't think the $3.5 trillion is going to make it. I think they're going to have to readjust. It
hurts my head to think about it. You know what I mean? It's screwed up.
Hurts my head to figure out how to pay for it.
Don't get into the details,
Yeah. Well,
they don't want to get into, that. I don't know. All I know is one thing. It seems the whole country's gone in the crapper in a matter of 8 months. Okay. So anyway.
Well,
hopefully,
just hang on for 2022. It's going to be interesting.
You're right. That'll be a big election.
Yes, it will. It's going to be a very important election. So, all right, Chris.
You have a good day, okay?
You too, my friend. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And lines open for you on the Art Lewis Show. Give us a call, whatever's on your mind, and we would love to chat with you. I want to chat with you for a moment about my friends at Thalen Honda. You've all seen the ads, come buy a vehicle with us, and maybe a few weeks from now, if it gets here, you can have it. Don't do that. Take delivery of a car that's on the ground already. Thalen Honda, they have a supply of new vehicles, and they're getting new ones all the time, ready for delivery right now during Honda's summer sales event. That's right. You buy it today, you can drive it today. And not only a selection of new, but they also have a large selection of previously owned vehicles. Now, to sweeten the pot, there's 0% financing on select 2021 and 2022 models. Terms and conditions do apply. In addition, the 2021 Honda CR-V Passport and Odyssey were named Best Car for the Money by U.S. News and World Report. And 6 2021 Honda models received the IIHS Top Safety Rating. 6 of them. Thalen Honda, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. You can go online to thinkthalen.com, see the entire inventory, or just stop in and look at it. And then sit down with a Thalen Honda representative, test drive the vehicle of your choice, come to a deal, and drive it home. Thalen family, in their 3rd generation of ownership, serving your automotive needs for 44 years. Stop into Thalen Honda today. Take a look at these fabulous Honda automobiles and their tremendous selection of pre-owned vehicles. We'll be back with more after these notes.
Oh, wow. I love what you've done to your kitchen.
Thanks. We did new countertops and a new sink and faucet.
Oh, it looks great. Did you do all the work yourself?
Oh, no. And at Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, they helped us select the right choice for us from their wide selection of countertop material, and we love it. We shopped around, too. Reamer had the best selection and the best pricing.
So, what's your next project?
Well, since we love our new kitchen, we plan to do the bathroom next.
Oh, wow.
This time, we'll go straight to Reamer. You should see all the new things they have for the bathroom.
Visit the showroom at Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to see countertop displays of Cambria quartz and Corian, kitchen sinks made of Corian, stainless steel, quartz, swanstone, and cast iron, plus a large display of kitchen faucets from several manufacturers. One is perfect for your lifestyle and budget. Reamer, go to reamerplumbing.com.
Anyway you spell Reamer means quality.
The real estate market is always tough, but this market, it's unlike anything we've ever seen. When the average home stays on the market just 24 days and houses routinely go for more than the listing price, who you work with matters. Realtors have the expertise, local knowledge, and personal touch to give you a competitive advantage throughout the entire home buying process. And that's something an ordinary agent could never do. So make sure your agent is a realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
So the dream was to build your very own law practice. Be your own boss, call all the shots. But have things like billing, HR, timekeeping, and all the other management stuff turned? Take charge of your practice with Lexicon. We're the intersection of practice management software and legal support services for your firm. You'll get more billable and livable hours back. Lexicon marks the spot for all your practice management needs. Visit lexiconservices.com/intersection to get the whole story or schedule a demo.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with British accents. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, take it from a Brit.
Oi, barmy insurance bloke's fetching dosh out your pocket. It's barmy. Liberty Mutual won't leave you skint, mate.
Can you just say Liberty Mutual customizes your pay for what you need?
I think that's what I said, you blooming.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. Back to our phones. Scott is in Saginaw. Scott, good morning to you.
Hey, morning, Art. Yeah, I'll kind of make this quick. After watching this administration for a while, I've come to the conclusion either they are 100% deliberate to this nation or they are 100% incompetent. It's just you go back to the
or a combination of both.
Okay, I could go with that too, which is even scarier.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to the Iowa caucus, we still don't even have the results of the very first Democrat debate. The debate thing there. And so, I mean, that's the beginning of this administration. Chaos, lying, misleading, misdirection. They had a guy on the TV the other day ask the press secretary, so you're forcing Americans to get vaccinated, but not the illegal.
Yeah, not the immigrants, right.
Next.
Oh, not Congress either. Not Congress. Remember, not Congress either.
No, but I mean, what a foul woman that is. I just can't believe this administration. We're cried and yelled and screamed every day over Trump. And here we actually have real issues that are affecting us. Before it was just 2 scoops of ice cream with sprinkles. Now we have actual issues hitting our pocketbooks, hitting American soldiers. Where's the left at? Why aren't they complaining?
Oh, they want more because the left has gone far left. They've gone to the progressive side, and the progressives want more. They don't want less. Sanders said it yesterday in the interview. 3.5 trillion wasn't enough. That was the compromise. They wanted more. That's, it's in the same way that they accuse the Republicans of going far right in the Tea Party. They've done it on their side with the progressive side. So it's,
the far right argument, I still have trouble grasping because to me, the far right argument is don't kill babies. Let's have a strong military.
No, I agree. Yeah, right. But it's still the way they view it on the left. Remember, you view it one way from your viewpoint. They view it another way from theirs. You may think your viewpoint is the right viewpoint, and it may very well be the right viewpoint, but it's not the way they view it. And that's go ahead.
I mean, if you kind of look at it, the viewpoint I have is more of a conservative. You look at under Obama, when he came in, again, we had the same thing. The economy took a hit. He ran for the position. Trump got in. He's got some stuff straightened out. Biden gets in there now. He says, "Well, I inherited a mess." You didn't inherit anything.
No,
you ran for the position and said you could do better.
Yeah, and here we are. Probably 7 or 8 months later, and they're still blaming Trump for everything they do, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's I'll tell you this though. I will tell you this though. The one area that we have to be careful about when we knock all the spending they want to do, Republicans have been guilty of it too. They've been spending too. So it's that particular issue. They got to be a little careful on how they put it forth.
I'm not so concerned about the spending. It's what they're doing is what I'm.
Well, and what the issues are they're spending on. No, absolutely, I agree.
I'm really scared as an American that we might not come back from this one.
No,
I'm really scared. These guys are moving forward at all over the world. Wherever Biden touches, it falls apart.
History, I think history, Scott, shows that we're resilient. We've reached these points before, and then the American people wake up and all of a sudden decide that's not the way they want to go. And I'll tell you what, I think 2022 is going to be an example of it. I think they're going to lose control.
I hope you're right, but to me, I kind of look at the foundation of America. It's been taking hit after hit after hit.
But it survives.
Sooner or later, a dam's going to break.
Well, but the biggest hit that worries me is the fact that somehow we want to become dependent on government. The more dependent we get, the farther away from freedom we get.
Yeah, well, that's not what I want.
No, me either. All right. Thanks for calling.
All right, thanks, Art.
Hey, Scott, have a great one. Bye-bye now. Let's take a quick break, and we'll get to Russ and Bay City when we return here on the Art Lewis Show.
Motown legends, the Temptations, the Four Tops. Saturday night, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Hempston Tops together again. Tickets start at $34. On sale now at the Soaring Eagle and Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com. T&T together again. The legendary 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino. Spend part of thanks at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Motown's Fab Five and Famous Four, The Temptations, and Four Tops. Tickets on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
So the dream was to build your very own law practice. Be your own boss, call all the shots. But have things like billing, HR, timekeeping, and all the other management a nightmare? Take charge of your practice with Lexicon. We're the intersection of practice management software and legal support services for your firm. And livable hours back. Lexicon marks the spot for all your practice management needs. Visit lexiconservices.com/intersection to get the whole story or schedule a demo.
This season, there's a new choice for your fields. Zetavo soybean seed, designed with triple stacked Enlist E3 technology for weed control flexibility. Supported by a dedicated team of BASF agronomic experts. Protected by the versatile BASF soybean crop protection portfolio. Zetavo soybean seed, stacked in your favor. Zetavo from MS Technologies, distributed exclusively by BASF. All label directions.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the WSGW, equipment that can quickly warn you during emergency. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
On the next Markley, Van Camp and Robbins show,
I guess we'll try to make sense of it all.
That is a very, very difficult job. We will have fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. Back to our phones. Russ is in Bay City. Russ, good morning.
Oh, we had another shining example of the rules are for thee, not for me. We had the Emmy Awards, and much like the Met Gala, much like Obama's birthday party, much like, I mean, God, even when right here in Michigan, with all the rules that Governor Whitmer broke, you know, no masks except for the servants. Of course, they had to wear masks. And these are the people that tell us we need to be vaccinated. Well, why? When they lied over and over with abandon, they lie to us. They look us right in the face and lie to us. Why should we believe them when they say anything?
Well, don't mix up vaccination and masks because many of them are vaccinated.
Same people. It's the exact same people telling us to get vaccinated that told us to wear masks, but they don't need to.
Yeah, well, you don't know if they were vaccinated. I think most of them are, but that's beside the point.
No, I didn't
The masks.
say they weren't vaccinated. I said,
Well, I know that, but you're adding vaccination into it.
right. But what I'm saying is the same people who are telling us we have to be vaccinated are the same people who told us we had to wear masks too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's,
You know, and then one thing they don't talk about at all are people like me. And there's thousands of us, millions of us in America who've had COVID, got over it, and we have immunities that are far better than their dang vaccination.
Well,
So that doesn't get talked about at all, not even a little bit. And they just recently had a study come out of Israel, which they are quoting for the booster shot. But there was a part of that study that talked about it and how their immunities are better than the vaccine.
Well,
and that doesn't get talked about at all.
Points out that it's all individual and you should consult with your doctor to find out what you should do.
Absolutely.
That's the bottom line. That's the bottom
Trust
line.
your doctor and not the people who traded their medical degrees for political positions.
Well, and I tell everybody, you know, when you get sick, you don't call a politician, you don't listen to a talk show host, you go to a doctor.
And not the CDC either. Because they're politicians. It's what they are. No different than the people that work at the DMV. I mean, they're government jobs. They're not scientific jobs. They're not.
No, that's not true because most of them are scientists.
Yeah, but that's what they needed to get the job. Once they got the job, they're politicians.
No, well, I don't. I'm not quite there for that.
Okay.
You know, I'm not saying they're always right. Don't get me wrong, but you have to have, you know, some trust someplace.
Not in the government, you don't have to. You don't. Not when they've proved over and over and over and over again that they are not trustworthy. They're liars. They'll say whatever they are told to say. And I'm not that stupid. I'm sorry. I'll go to my doctor. What my doctor tells me to do, I trust. Or I'd go to a different doctor.
All right. Understand that a lot of what a doctor tells you comes from the CDC, but that's okay.
Yeah, it depends on the relationship you have with your doctor, too.
Well, that's true.
But smoke up my butt like that, guess where I'm going?
Yep.
To another doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
So,
good enough.
All right. You have a great day.
You too, Russ. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Now, you know, we have become very cynical when it comes to government. And government has brought it on themselves. Russ is right. I mean, you know, they brought it on themselves. I am not to that point where I can't trust anything a politician says or a government official says. What I do is listen to what they say and measure it against what I believe to be true. But if you really are in a position where you can't trust anything in government at all, ever, I think that's a little harsh because there are good people working in government who have devoted their lives to doing the right thing and all of that. So, I look at the political side of government one way and the operational side of government a different way. Now, having said that, I think government is too big. And I don't think government can take care of you cradle to grave. Nor do I think they should. Because if you know somebody's going to take care of you, then what's your incentive to take care of yourself? What's your incentive to do the right thing? So anyway, Al is in Saginaw. Is that right? Al, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. Art.
Yep.
This is something different.
Sure.
Where have all the birds gone? I could sit out here for an hour at a time and not see a bird in the sky.
That's
Title Township.
You know, that's interesting. We have outside our kitchen window, we have 3 bird feeders, and they are not being eaten at the rate they were for a while. I'm not refilling them as often as I was. That's an interesting point. I'll have to pay more attention to it. I don't know.
I mean, you could sit out here. There used to be cardinals, blue jays, and sparrows.
Yeah, we've got them all here. But I'm going to ask my wife about it, too, because she sits by that window and watches a lot. I don't think there are as many. You may be right, and I don't know why.
I don't either. I was just wondered if anybody knew what happened to everything, you know?
Nope, don't know.
Okay.
All right. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Thanks, Al. Bye-bye now. Last caller this hour is going to be Mark in Bay City. Mark, good morning.
How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, so a couple weeks ago on MSNBC, Dan Kildee was on there reviewing his 7-month treatment. I mean, I had to grab an issue or a tissue for the issue there. But he was concerned of the January 6th coming back, the insurrection, and the that didn't happen. There were more police officers flying around and media watching it, but they did put up a wall. On the border, can we say that we want to stop the disease coming across the border to sound more friendly instead of the children, people, and more emphasis on controlling the disease coming across the border as opposed to the people coming across the border? I'm just trying to be friendly here.
I like it.
And figure out
what
we can do to stop, because measles or mumps or something like that was cropping back up.
Yeah.
Even though people are vaccinated, we eradicate it, doesn't mean it can't crop back up.
Well, you know, the no matter what you call it, no matter how you phrase it, it's still a whole bunch of people illegally coming into the country. The disease is one part of it, but to my way of thinking, the border needs to be secure for a whole bunch of reasons, including medical reasons. So, hey, I got to run for time here, but we'll talk more about it. Mark, I appreciate the call this morning. Thank you, sir. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. All right, we're going to take a break, come back and close out this hour of the Art Lewis Show, but we got another open hour coming up right after the news. Stick around.
It's time to trade up to the RV of your dreams at General RV in Birch Run and enjoy more camping adventures this fall. We need used RVs due to soaring demand, and we'll pay top dollar for yours. Now through October 2nd, take advantage of record trade-in values. Plus, claim your trade bonus when you upgrade. There's never been a better time to trade up to the new motorhome, travel trailer, or fifth wheel of your dreams. 2021 models are going fast, so hurry in during the trade-up event at General RV in Birch Run off I-75.
Consumers Energy is making big changes to bring clean energy to Michigan, like turning to solar and wind power and pledging to go coal-free. But we can't do it alone. We need everyone to join us by making small changes. Light bulbs, smart thermostats, and joining our clean energy programs. With your help, we can create a better future for Michigan. Together, we can become a force of change. Learn how at consumersenergy.com/change.
New surveys show that Americans don't think vaccines are enough to protect themselves and others from COVID-19. 80% want thermometers used in public places to screen for COVID-19, and 36% know that non-contact devices are inaccurate. Use Exocrine at home, at work, and in public. It's the only thermometer proven accurate by more than 100 published clinical studies. Learn more at Exocrine.com.
Exocrine is changing the way the world takes temperature.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-590-70. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you, even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-590-7516. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-590-7516. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-590-7516. 800-590-7516.
All right, that'll do it for this hour, the Art Lewis Show. CBS News coming up at the top of the hour, the world and national news. Local report will bring you up to date on everything happening in the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. And then I'll be back with you another open hour of phones coming up right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
The stock market is on pace for its worst sell-off since July. The Dow's down 391 points right now, about 1%. It had been off 500. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says there are fears over a Chinese developer named Evergrande. This is a company that invested in property and used a lot of borrowed funds to do so. The fear among investors is that if the Chinese government allows Evergrande to actually default and go broke, it could spread. The S&P is down 59, Bitcoin down more than 8%. A COVID vaccine may not be far off for kids from 5 to 11. This is a company that
I think that everybody should get vaccinated so that things can return back to normal.
8-year-old Joshua Chung took part in Just Wrap Pfizer trials that found a lower dose of its vaccine safe and effective in his age group. Correspondent Mola Lengi.
Pfizer's announcement comes at a pivotal time in the fight against COVID-19, particularly amongst children, many of whom have just recently returned to the classroom. The most recent American Academy of Pediatrics report showed the second highest number of childhood COVID cases for any week since the pandemic began. The spike in cases has been driven by the Delta variant, which has disproportionately affected the unvaccinated.
Pfizer will submit findings to the FDA for consideration. Could be a game changer, a new breast cancer drug that seems to stop a common aggressive form of the disease in its tracks. CBS's Vicki Barker from granted accelerated approval of Enhertu for women carrying the HER2 mutation whose breast cancer had spread and failed to respond to other treatments. But these phase 3 results suggest Enhertu is likely to become the treatment of choice for all women with the HER2 mutation from now on. At the UN, BTS is representing global youth at the just-convened General Assembly. CBS's Stephen Portnoy says the president will be there too.
As the president flies to New York for UN meetings, he faces headwinds on multiple fronts. Relations with France are strained by a new submarine deal with Australia. The administration is deporting thousands of Haitians who've entered Texas. Democrats are disappointed by the Senate parliamentarians' decision to strike immigration provisions from their massive social spending bill. And short-term deals on spending and the debt ceiling must be reached soon, or the government could see a shutdown or even a first-ever default on its debt next month.
Buckingham Palace. Princess Beatrice has given birth to a 6-pound, 2-ounce little girl. This is CBS News.
Indeed helps you hire great people fast. Indeed delivers 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined, according to Talent Nest. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed. Because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I had to move out to the couch, out to the recliner, out to my son's bunk bed. That is, until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Hartel Heating Company helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Hartel Heating Company to hear more about how we can help you feel healthier and happier in your home. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call us today at 989-892-6111 or visit us online at hartelheating.com. License number 71-03370.
Remember radio ads with British accents. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, take it from a Brit.
Oi, barmy insurance blokes fetching dosh out your pocket. It's barmy. Liberty Mutual won't leave you skint, mate.
Can you just say Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need?
I think that's what I said, you blooming.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
At Dairyland Seed, we're proud to offer our strongest ever lineup of top-performing seed. So proud that we're just going to stop talking and let the results speak for themselves. For corn, 210 in the trials. Silage, 200 top 5 finishers for tons per acre, milk per ton, and milk per acre in independent trials. Soybeans, 46 top 5 finishers in independent trials. And alfalfa, a 6.9% yield advantage in 502 head-to-head comparisons. Learn more about how we're bringing the yield at dairylandseed.com.
Live from From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Partly cloudy skies and 72 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike. In Oscoda have arrested a suspect in the death of a child whose body was found Friday. Police received a report of a human foot sticking out from a trash bag at a home on Cedar Lake Road near F41. They determined foul play was a factor in the 3-year-old's death. Police arrested a woman on charges of first-degree murder. Her arraignment may come later today. 3 officials in a mid-Michigan community are being targeted for recall after voting in favor of a zoning change, which would allow housing for migrant boys who cross the U.S. border. Petitions were filed against Alma City Commissioners Roxanne Harrington, Audra Stahl, and Nick. If the language is approved, recall advocates could start collecting signatures to try to force an election. The commission voted last week to approve a zoning change sought by Bethany Christian Services. Chuck Murphy is a recall supporter and chairman of the Gratiot County Republican Party. He says many people in Alma are upset about the issue. A manufacturing company in Tuscola County is expanding its facility in an $11.4 million investment. Walbro makes engine and fuel parts for small engines, marine, construction, and agricultural equipment. The facility, located in Cass City, will be able to hire up advanced manufacturing employees. The investment is thanks in part to a $400,000 grant from the Michigan Business Development Program. Anyone interested in applying to the company can send a resume and cover letter to careers@walbro.com. The company also works with Michigan Works to find local talent. WSGW News Time 10:07.
You can't be in farming without taking risks. That's common knowledge. But that doesn't mean you should throw caution to the wind. And when it comes to new technology, farmers always look before they leap. And for the past 3 years, have looked at the Enlist weed control system, and they have leapt. Now it's your turn. Millions and millions of acres have proven the effectiveness of Enlist herbicide's superior technology with neighbor-friendly weed control, more tank mix options, near zero volatility, and much, much more. But to unlock all these advantages, you must start with Enlist E3 soybeans. See what a better seed and herbicide system can bring to your fields at enlist.com. You've looked. Now lead.
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. A lawyer for a Michigan lawmaker says he will challenge a personal protection order which was obtained by another legislator. Democratic Representative Maria Manoogian was granted an order against Representative Steve Marino. He's a Macomb County Republican who's been removed from House committees. The order could conflict with Marino's ability to vote on the House floor if Manoogian is present. Marino's attorney says he'll be reviewing the order Monday. Marino says he and Manoogian had a relationship that ended more than a year ago. His removal from House committees stemmed from that volatile relationship. Marino calls it character assassination. September is Baby Safety Month. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission is urging parents to get back to basics when it comes to infant sleep products.
CPSC's latest data shows about 119 deaths associated with nursery products. About 83% of these fatalities were associated with cribs, playpens, bassinets, infant carriers, and portable baby swings. And again, the majority of these deaths were due to a cluttered sleep space.
Nikki Fleming with the commission says babies, especially newborns, spend most of their time sleeping, so it is critical for parents to ensure that they sleep.
Hey, Greg?
Hey, how's
we
it
still
going?
have a couple of months of nice weather for hiking, biking, and riding horses in the state. This is Michigan Trails Week. The State Department of Natural Resources says Michigan has more than 13,000 miles of state-designated trails.
Well, your picture
you can
froze.
explore all year long with off-road vehicles and snowmobiles. You can also take part in the Michigan Trails Week Challenge by logging your trail miles. You can register to do so by going to the Visit Michigan website. When you see news happening,
Can you hear me,
call
Greg?
the WSGW Newsroom.
Yeah, can you hear me?
752-0790.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I'm Mike Purdy.
Try it again.
Can you hear me now?
Try it again.
Wsgw Weatherology.
I can see you talking, but I can't hear you.
We'll see scattered showers here possible late today. Otherwise, partial sunshine develops. A high of
Let's see here.
Winds out of the southeast around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. And for tonight,
We'll try it again.
Showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy skies, and a low near.
Hang on, and we'll see if we can get this
Tuesday, a chance for
done here.
showers
We're
and
going to
storms,
start in a
cloudy
moment.
skies, a high of 75 degrees. Then by Wednesday, a chance for rain showers here with cloudy sky conditions, a high around 61. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 73.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Nice to have you with us. We're going to see if we can make good contact with a very special guest this morning. Greg Peterson from the Peterson Farm Brothers is with us this morning. We think he's driving, but let's find out if we can actually talk to him this morning. Greg, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Very, you're way in the background. I mean, like, I can hardly hear you.
All right, I'll get a little
see
closer.
your lips moving, but I can't hear what you're saying very much. So let's see. Try it now.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I got you now. All right. Excellent. So we welcome you to the program. Greg represents the Peterson Farm Brothers and their use of music and parody to educate us on agriculture. And they're going to be in Frankenmuth this Saturday at the Weiss Centennial Farm for the Frankenmuth Corn Maze. So I have to ask this, Greg, after reading a little bit about you guys, if I read it right, you're 30 years old. Your brothers are in their upper 20s. What got you guys into farming? Because we don't hear about the young generation moving in that much.
Yeah, I mean, we always planned on farming together. We grew up on a fifth-generation family farm here in the middle of Kansas, and there's actually quite a few young farmers around here. Maybe it's different in Michigan, but there's another generation of farmers coming up, and it was always our goal to farm together, and we basically came home after college and started farming.
So what was it that carried you to the next step of extending your farming knowledge to the general public through entertaining?
That we started in 2012, so 9 years ago when we were in high school and college. We were trying to kind of make something so our friends could learn about farming through YouTube. And our first video got 5 million views in a week. And all of a sudden we had all sorts of people watching us. So that's how we got started with that.
So YouTube has been a blessing for you then, huh?
Yeah. It's pretty amazing to think about how, 15, 20 years ago, a farmer in rural Kansas or Michigan, didn't have the capability to be seen by 5 million people like that. But social media has given us, a platform to share what we're doing.
When you do that, and you got 5 million hits in that first week, you and your brothers are now going all over the country. Who's doing the farming?
Well, actually, two brothers do the performances, and then one brother always stays home with dad. And so we're really we do about 50, 60 events a year. And so we're gone for, 50 or 60 days out of the year. And that still leaves, 300 some days where we're all home farming. So people like to give us a hard time for that. But I always say that it's no different than if you were selling seed or doing something on the side. You spend 50, 60 days doing that, and that's how you make it work.
Given the climate conditions that we've all lived under in the recent years, how's agriculture doing out in Kansas, in the heartland?
Oh, it's doing well. We've had some dry dry periods of time where we haven't gotten enough rain, but that's pretty normal for central Kansas. We take any rain we can get in the summer. It gets over 100 degrees, and that's pretty normal. So,
What types of crops are you guys growing?
we have wheat, corn, soybeans, sorghum, and then a variety of forages that we feed the cattle here.
How many acres?
Around 2,500, and then we custom farm another 1,000 or so.
So, you're still very young at 30 years old in farming. You've been in it, all your life with your family, really. Have you seen many changes in agriculture?
I think the biggest changes that I've seen in my lifetime is we were kind of like we were tillage farmers when I was a kid, and then we switched to no-till because of the climate and the way things are here. We think no-till is the better option, and then we moved more toward precision farming as I came home from college, where we've got auto steer and putting different inputs on different acres and just basically becoming more precise in what we're doing.
Has that affected yields?
Yeah, I think both no-till and the technology we use in our equipment has made yields go up for sure.
So when you come to Frankenmuth, I think your brothers are coming to Frankenmuth this weekend. How do they get the message across? What's the entertainment vehicle you guys use to get your message out?
So we perform our music videos, but in between our performances, we talk about the importance of agriculture and what we've learned just from getting to travel all around the world. When you grow up in the middle of Kansas, you think farming, but as you start traveling, you realize that farming is different everywhere you go. Like I'm sure in Michigan, even from one part of the state to the other, you see lots of differences, and people try to kind of box farming into, well, every farmer should do it this way, every farm should look like this, but in reality, it's they all farms need to be different, and all farmers need to use their expertise to do the best they can in different ways.
I know in your case this is not true, but it would seem to me, and I'm from New York City, I was as far away from agriculture as you could get originally, but it seems to me that we are losing at least a certain amount of family farms in this country. Is that true? Do you see that?
I think maybe we're losing some, but I think the main factor of that is that the family farms are getting bigger, and if the farms get bigger, there can't be as many of them, and so yes, we're losing family farms, but it's not so much because farming is going away or because there's a different type of farm coming into play. I think it's 97% of farms in America are family farms. So we're still, it's, you drive around the Midwest, you're going to be hard pressed to find a farm that's not a family farm, but they are getting bigger and they're getting more advanced. And sometimes it's more than one family working together. And I don't know, there's a lot of factors that play into it for sure.
And in some ways that's out of necessity. At one time, you could probably make a living on the back 40. You can't do that anymore, can you?
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much how it is. And that's just the economy of size. And it's just like any other industry, things consolidate and get bigger and better and more efficient. And that's how it is.
And did I also read that there may be a baby in your future?
I had a baby this past, was it Friday? It's been 9 days. Yeah. So
have you slept yet?
Yeah. I'm sleeping a little bit anyway, trying to catch up.
One of the reasons you won't be here this weekend, but your brothers will.
Yeah, I am normally the one who comes, and then my brothers rotate of who gets to come. But this time I'm staying home, taking care of the farm with Dad, and they'll have to do it on their own.
Well, it's going to be this Saturday, 7:00 at the Weiss Centennial Farm. It's free to members of the Saginaw and Genesee County Farm Bureaus, and I think it's a $10 charge for the general public if they want to come and see you. And we look forward to hearing all about agriculture from your brothers.
Yeah, it should be a great time. Lots of fun, and it'll be entertaining, but hopefully it'll also be educational and inspirational as well.
Well, Greg, thanks for spending a little time with us this morning. You can get back to driving now.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Bye-bye now. Greg Peterson from the Peterson Farm Brothers Band. We appreciate his time this morning, talking a little bit about agriculture with us. They'll be doing a lot more of that at the Centennial Farm, Weiss Centennial Farm, this Saturday. We're going to take a break, come back, and we'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour here on WSGW.
It's time to trade up to the RV of your dreams at General RV in Birch Run and enjoy more camping adventures this fall. We need used RVs due to soaring demand, and we'll pay top dollar for yours. Now through October 2nd, take advantage of record trade-in values. Plus, claim your trade bonus when you upgrade. There's never been a better time to trade up to the new motorhome, travel trailer, or fifth wheel of your dreams. 2021 models are going fast, so hurry in during General RV in Birch Run off I-75.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Hemlock Public School District is a leader in innovation, collaboration, and education in mid-cradle to early middle college, where hands-on and hard work never go out of style. Our mission and vision, here to serve, innovate, educate, and collaborate. For more information, call us at 989-642-5282. That's 642-5282. Or explore more at hemlockps.com. Hemlock Public Schools, excellence in education. Enroll today.
Now that commission-free trading is the norm, it's time to rethink how we define value. Value is more than a price tag. It's the confidence of knowing you have a team of traders on question. It's Thinkorswim's charting and analysis tools, and it's a personalized education to fine-tune your skills. Value is becoming smarter with every commission-free online equity trade. Discover true value with TD Ameritrade, where smart investors get smarter.
I'm Connell McShane. This is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened sharply lower. The possible failure of a huge property developer in China, Evergrande Group, is blamed for the slump. Evergrande has investors from major firms around the world, including in the U.S. And Bitcoin has been trading lower. Workers are back on the job at plants owned by Mondelez Oreo cookies and other snacks. Employees have accepted a new 4-year contract. Reuters says the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is investigating airbag inflators in multiple models of cars and trucks made by various companies. And Comcast's new Universal Studios Beijing is now fully open. The 10,000 tickets available for the public opening were sold out within 3 minutes. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
Guys, Untuckit agrees it's finally time. Time to update our closets with want to wear. Time to think about going back to the office or choosing a new way to work. Time to enjoy the best of fall, like long walks in the park and hot coffee on a brisk day. And that means it's time to look sharp and feel comfortable all day with Untuckit. Shirts designed to be worn on top. Discover the perfect fitting shirt today at untuckit.com. Use promo code TIME for 20% off your first purchase at untuckit.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's ACY.
If you're suffering from cold, flu, or COVID symptoms, you need an accurate temperature reading as quickly as possible. Fever is a leading symptom of both the flu and COVID-19. So the sooner you rule out the common cold, the better. Use the Exocrine temporal scanner, the same thermometer used by medical professionals millions of times a day to accurately detect fever. Learn more at Exocrine.com.
Exocrine is changing the way the world takes temperature.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
Hi, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. Just to follow up with our interview with Greg Peterson. His brothers, the Peterson Farm brothers, will be at the Frankenmuth Corn Maze at the Weiss Centennial Farm, and that will be this Saturday, 7 o'clock. They're from Central Kansas, and they share their joy of farming with audiences everywhere. The Corn Maze is located at 5450 Weiss Road in Frankenmuth. And the concert and Corn Maze combo ticket prices, adults $10, $7 for youth age 3 to 15, and 0 to 2 is free. You can come on out, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's free to members of the Saginaw County Farm Bureau and the Genesee County Farm Bureau. And should be a good time. So we thank Greg for spending a little time with us. He was literally driving down a road in Kansas. We thought he'd be with us at 9 o'clock, but I think the time zone got us there. And we appreciate his being with us this morning. I'm always interested in talking about agriculture because I grew up knowing nothing about its importance to us. Growing up in the Bronx, New York, agriculture was the farthest thing from my mind. I thought that that Elsie the cow gave all the milk in the world because that's the one big cow I saw in a parade. It was a big, huge float. And that's all I knew about farming. I mean, I literally grew up knowing nothing about farming. And we moved here, and my first job was in New Mexico, where I learned about cattle. And then coming here really opened my eyes to agriculture and the importance of agriculture to us as a people and the world in how we eat. And not only that, but its economic impact and how it works, although I'm still befuddled sometimes at how it works. And I talk to farmers, and I talk to Terry Henney about it, and I think sometimes they're confused about it too, because it's one of those unexplainable things. Prices go up and down like yo-yos, and sometimes you wonder why. But it's something that we should be proud of as Americans, because in many ways we've taught the world how to farm and how to feed themselves. At one time it was American farmers fed the world. Now I think it's American farmers have taught the world how to feed themselves. So it's I find it fascinating to live in an agricultural area, to visit farms, to talk to farmers. And my question to Greg about the family farm was a genuine question, because I do think he's right. In certain areas of the country, family farms have been diminishing. They've been growing in size, but that's because they've been swallowing up other family farms. It's an interesting business when you think about it. Someone devotes their life to the earth, really, to the soil and to growing things in an unpredictable world where weather is a factor and economies are a factor, and no guarantees in agriculture, no guarantees at all. So my heart goes out to all the farmers out there that to provide us with the food we eat every day. And we're seeing right now what happens when agriculture gets stressed, because we're seeing it at the prices in the grocery store through COVID-19 and through weather and through labor shortages. Agriculture is not able to continue the supply chain that we're used to seeing, and thus prices go up, inflation goes up. But I admire farmers of this world that get out every day and make it happen. Anyhow, we'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour. Our number is, of course, 752-6111 from Saginaw Bay City. Outside the area, 790 WSGW. That's 866-790 WSGW for inside the state of Michigan. If you're outside the state of Michigan, or even if you're inside the state, 989-752-6111 will work for you. You can give us a call. Tell us what's on your mind. We'll chat about almost anything that you would like to talk about. I want to talk about something we've discussed before, the electric automobile and autonomy. We've heard the stories recently of Teslas driving into police cars and not recognizing emergency vehicles on the side of the road and crashing into them. And at the same time this is going on, Elon Musk is pushing to expand Tesla's driver assistance to various cities around the country. And this has not set well with top safety authorities. Last week, Musk said drivers would soon be able to request an enhanced version of what Tesla calls its full self-driving capability. The upgrade is expected to add a feature intended to help vehicles navigate cities, expanding the suite of driver assistance tools, mainly designed for highways. Well, I'm not ready to buy one. I don't know about you. I mean, the car is nice. The Tesla is a beautiful automobile. I've driven one. It's a great car. But the self-driving features, am I ready to sit back and take my hands off the wheel and let the car do all the work? No. I am not ready to do that, and don't know, honestly, if I ever find myself ready to do that. A, because I enjoy driving. I want the feel of the wheel. But B, and more importantly, I just don't trust the technology at this point in time. Now, as advances are made and the technology is improved, yeah, sure, the day is going to come when we will have autonomous vehicles that are relatively reliable. Nothing will ever be perfect because they're made by humans. Let's start with that fact. It's never going to be perfect when there are millions of autonomous vehicles running around on the highways. We will still hear of accidents. But will they be more reliable than they are today? And I would say probably so. I would think so. I am waiting for the day when battery technology increases range and driver technology increases in reliability. Now, there have been a lot of semi-autonomous features built into automobiles already. Adaptive cruise control is a semi-autonomous feature. And for those of you that don't have it, it's cruise control that adjusts speed according to traffic. By that, I mean if you set your car for 70 miles an hour on a highway and you come up upon a car that's only doing 65, your cruise control adapts to that speed and your car slows down automatically to 65 until the other car either speeds up or gets out of the way, and then your car accelerates again. It's all done by technology, by adaptive cruise control. Lane keeping and lane centering are methods to keep you in your lane. Collision avoidance warnings and braking are semi-autonomous systems. So right now, many new cars will brake when they sense a collision. Some of them avoid pedestrians and brake. They keep you in your lane. They adapt your speed to the highway. So you have many of these semi-autonomous features already built into your automobile. The day will come when autonomy will be, I predict, standard on automobiles down the road. But we're a long way away from that. We're a long way away. Anyhow, lines open for you. Give us a call. We're going to take a break here, and we will be back with lots more conversation, open lines for the remainder of the hour here on WSGW. Let me take a moment to tell you about how I do business. I like to do business with local folks who've invested their time and treasure in our own communities. And I'm often asked, well, who do I do business with? Well, in one instance, insurance, my agent is Tom Sereski at the Sereski Insurance Agent. He's an Allstate agent, and I've been an Allstate customer since 1974, and I remain with Allstate because I'm happy with the company, happy with the way they take care of me, happy the way they've satisfied claims when I've had them, and I'm really happy with my agent, Tom Sereski. He and his staff listen. They don't just talk at you. They listen to you. Then they come up with a plan that suits your needs. And they can do that for your home, your auto, your motorcycle, your RV, your boat, your motorhome, your rental property. And if you bundle, you save even more. They can also insure your classic car because Tom deals with Haggerty Insurance, who specializes in classic cars. In addition, he can provide specialty insurance for event coverages like weddings and pet insurance for your cat or dog. They also serve the business community with Allstate's supplemental health benefits. Do as I do. Shop locally with a business you trust. I trust Tom Sereski for all of my insurance needs. You can visit his agency on Tittabawassee Road, just west of the tracks in Saginaw Township, or call Tom at 989-497-0300. 497-0300. Tell him Art Lewis sent you. You're in good hands with Allstate. You're even better hands with Tom Sereski at the Sereski Agency. We'll be back with more on the Art Lewis Show after these notes.
Sound Asleep Lab is the only private accredited sleep lab in mid-Michigan owned and operated by a physician. We do home and in the lab sleep studies. We can see you within 1 to 2 weeks. You may consider doing a cost comparison before your next sleep study. Our charge is less than 50%. No worries of having to go into the hospital with 4 convenient locations in Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, and Mount Pleasant. Please discuss with your primary care provider or call 989-792-2792 for an appointment. 792-2792 or check us out at soundasleeplab.com.
Hello, this is Ron from All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Now, All A's is an exclusive authorized repair facility for BG products and services. BG is a proprietary group of chemicals, equipment, and procedures that flush your engine's lubrication system, cooling system, and fuel injectors, increasing efficiency and life. So next time you schedule routine auto maintenance, ask All A's about the advantages of BG services. You'll definitely notice the difference. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Is All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair a business you can depend on?
Just moved to Midland, was dreading finding a new auto shop. Search over, came highly recommended, and I, in turn, highly recommended them.
They did a great job getting me in fast and had excellent communication with what was going on with my vehicle through diagnostic and repair.
In fact, 96% of All A's customers rank them 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. See for yourself at allaysautorepair.net. All A's Automotive and Transmission from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Now that commission-free trading is the norm, it's time to rethink how we define value. Value is more than a price tag. It's the confidence of knowing you have a team of traders on standby to answer any question. It's Thinkorswim's charting and analysis tools, and it's a personalized education to fine-tune your skills. Value is becoming smarter with every commission-free online equity trade. Discover true value with TD Ameritrade, where smart investors get smarter.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. Out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. This brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's. So thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3. Just go to harrys.com and enter 7711 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 7711. Enjoy.
Eric Haas, a few steps to his right, makes the catch, and Willie Peralta has just given the Tigers 7 brilliant innings.
The Tigers play tonight at 6:20 on 790 News Radio WSGW. Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you, and we'll get to our phones. Paul's in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art. Art, I don't know if you've been following the local news or not, but for some reason, and I don't know what they are, on the corners of State and Hemmeter and State and Center, there seems to be a lot of accidents over in those areas. And I know how big you are about roundabouts. So are you going to call Saginaw Township and ask them to put a roundabout at State and Center? And
they're too big a road to do that, I think. Well, not only that, they're going to start, they're going to resurface State Street from, I think, M47 to Lawndale, if I'm not mistaken. They're going to start that today, I understand. But there have been, you're right, there have been a lot of accidents there recently, and I don't know why all of a sudden, other than the fact it's very heavily traveled, but I don't know, because they're both controlled by traffic lights, so don't know.
Right. There's a lot of lanes, wide lanes in that area too.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it, I'm guessing, but if I had to guess, a lot of it is people trying to beat the light, and they don't make it. They either run into somebody or somebody runs into them.
So you're not going to put a roundabout either place, then? Huh?
No, I don't think so. It's too big a road. I mean, I would be against it, but I don't see it happening there.
Right.
But I'm a roundabout fan. A lot of people aren't, but I am. You get used to them.
Certainly not. That's for sure.
You got to get used to them. That's all.
All
right, Paul. Great. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
No.
And let's talk to Delmar in Saginaw. Delmar, good morning to you.
Hi, Eric. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
The old adage, we never learn from past history.
Yeah, we should, shouldn't we?
We had a very prominent American president that passed a mandate that everybody in the military had to be vaccinated. And there was no quips or qualms about it. And that president ordered everybody in the Continental Army had to be vaccinated for smallpox. And that was George Washington. He was the first president to issue a mandate for everybody in the military. Another political point we never learned is we were very prominent American at that time. And he even published that it was a hoax, the vaccines were a hoax, and they were witchcraft, and all the kids in Boston that were vaccinated survived.
Yeah, funny thing about that.
His own son died because he refused to have anything injected into his son.
Yep.
That was Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, it's
who I thought was an intelligent man.
You're absolutely right about the fact that sometimes we don't learn from history. And
he was advertising and publishing it. But one more thing too on these roundabouts that Paul just called.
Yeah.
If they build a roundabout, they got to build them right. I lived on Hilton Head Island for 3 years. And when you build a roundabout, you have to be at least 2 lanes, not one single lane.
Right.
So that people who get on the roundabout have to make the next right away. But they're like the one in Freeland's only 1 lane, and these people think they can go around and around and around without making the next right because they made it wrong with 1 single lane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of them that I've not driven the Freeland one yet, but most of the roundabouts are 2 lane. Although, I'll take that back. No, I take that back because the ones on, for example, the M81 bridge, which were the first ones built around here, it's a single lane, it's a single lane each way, except where the corners are. Except where the corners are. Yeah, the 46 one's the same way. I haven't driven them. Yeah, you're right.
But
yeah.
A double lane one creates a lot less accidents.
Yeah. I down in Farmington Hills, I was down there a couple of months ago, and some of the roads down there have roundabouts, and they're double lanes. So,
oh, by the way, after Benjamin Franklin's son died from yellow fever, then he started publishing that it worked and everybody should get vaccinated.
Well, some people are slow learners.
Yeah, not with my kids. Take care, Art.
Take care, Delmar. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now. All right, line's open for you. Give us a call, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about what we don't learn from history sometimes.
10 grand in cash makes for amazing memories. So get to Saguenay Eagles Landing for a September to remember. Every Saturday starting at 5 p.m., we're giving away $1,000 to one lucky player every hour. Then at 10 p.m. each week, someone will take home the $10,000 cash grand prize. Now that's a September to remember. Only at Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Watch your fun out. Visit Saguenay-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions and important safety information.
My husband's ED was affecting our marriage. When he first started experiencing ED, it was difficult for both of us. We didn't know who to talk to about it or where to get help. HIMSS was our answer. HIMSS connected my husband with a licensed provider online. He was able to get medication to treat his ED at a fraction of the price people pay for the name brand. It was delivered to our door, and guess what? Our sex life is back. It works.
Right now, get your first online provider's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/radio. Yep, free. Expensive appointments and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Just the care you need.
Thanks to HIMSS, we got our sex life and our marriage back.
To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/radio. That's /radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO. If you think vaccines alone will protect you from COVID-19, more breakthrough cases of COVID variants show that vaccinated people are still vulnerable to the deadly disease. Monitor regularly for fever, as it's the leading sign of COVID-19. Use Exocrine. Scientifically proven to detect fever. Protect yourself and your family with the Exocrine temporal scanner. Learn more at exocrine.com.
Exocrine is changing the way the world takes temperature.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. You will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/find. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds job and actively invites them to apply.
Scott, is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/find. Exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/find. That's ZipRecruiter.com/find.
This country is great because of the people in this country.
Sean Hannity, weekdays at 3 on 100.5. News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and we'll go back to our phones. Carl's in Saginaw. Carl, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Getting back to automated cars.
Yeah.
She is not quite there yet, not quite ready for prime time. It's getting there. And like you said, the systems that most of the new cars have, the lane keeping and smart cruise control, I've got that on my car. In fact, my car I can either use or the advanced cruise, and I've been using the advanced cruise more lately. I was, more comfortable with the old system, but I'm learning the newer system a little bit more. And but at least these systems, the automated systems, are paying attention.
Yeah.
Because when I look around at other drivers on the road, and I see people, on their phone all the time, of course, but, people eating food, people looking down in their laps, people putting on makeup, eating a bowl of cereal a couple weeks ago. I looked over at a red light, and a guy was eating a bowl of cereal.
It's amazing.
At 7:30 in the morning.
And that's why I have to tell you, Carl.
Automated systems, are on all the time.
Well, that's I like. I hope I didn't impart the view that I didn't like them. I like the fact that cars have these systems that back you up as an individual, and when you're not paying attention, they can wake you up so you do pay attention. My hesitation is on fully autonomous vehicles. I'm not ready for that. And probably never will be, because I like to drive. I like to have control. I've always been that way. And, but as far as, adaptive cruise control and lane centering and lane keeping and collision avoidance warnings and things of that nature, I'm fine with that. I think that's great. I think they're fabulous because they do help reduce accidents and they do make you pay attention. And you're right. There's a lot of people that don't pay attention on the road. And,
like you said, you enjoy driving. You like being in control. But I think a lot of people out there enjoy driving. They just want to get from A to B.
Yeah.
They're not there. And most of the time they're looking at their phone, or they're eating, or they're, yelling at the kids in the back seat, or, they're not the drive.
Yeah. No,
they're just running their errands and going to work, and a lot of them, I just see these people, and I think I'd rather have an automated system than the people I see.
Yeah, there are a couple of types of drivers that I try and avoid when I can. Those that don't pay attention, and it's hard to know where they all are. The other ones are the super aggressive drivers that have to be first. They will cut you off to be first. If you're in a line of vehicles and they come up alongside you, they will cut you off to get in front of you, even if there's nobody behind you where they could have just slid in behind you.
I know. It would have taken them 2 seconds.
Yeah,
longer,
exactly.
They got there first.
I have a lot of pet peeves about drivers. Being a commercial driver for a lot of years, like I was, driving motor coaches, you see everything. And I have pretty much seen it all in my driving career.
Oh, I bet.
But
Art, I have one other question. We've seen all these shortages of cars.
Yep.
But I've noticed that the advertising for cars and trucks doesn't seem to have, gone down at all. I see a lot of effort. It seems like they're spending a lot. Are they just like holding their place?
Well, that's what they're doing is, that's part of it. The other thing is they're trying to get folks to put a commitment on a vehicle, and when it comes in, it's sold. For example, I was at a dealership the other day, and they had a shipment of vehicles coming in. Of the ones coming in, 60% of them were already sold.
Sure.
And the one, I didn't realize this, but when I was at McDonald Ford last Friday for their 25th anniversary, I had the Ford regional manager on my show. He told me that in an F-150 pickup, there are 1,800 chips.
Oh my God. That's ridiculous.
Think about that. Think about that. No wonder they're having a problem getting chips.
Art, I heard your interview with the Ford man and his justification for putting the Mustang name on the electric.
Yeah.
Sorry, that argument fell flat, as a pancake.
Yeah, I know it. I agree with you. I think Maxie I don't know why they even put it in the Mustang family, but I'll tell you what, though, he was, other than that argument, he was really knowledgeable and easy to talk to. He would answer the questions.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and
I'm sure that's Ford's line, you know. When
No, I'm sure it is. That's probably the way they structured it, but I don't understand it. It doesn't look like a Mustang to me. And
no.
but
you
it's
kind of water down, you kind of dilute, you know, the meaning of what a Mustang is. You start go vans.
Well,
you know, this is the Mustang
yeah, but
cargo van.
however, the other side of that point is that it's the Mustang of the future, and this is what Mustang is going to look like, because their thrust for electric cars is huge. So I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
I know that.
So yeah, but I agree. I would have found a different name, but hey, who am I? All right, Carl, I got to run. Take care, friend.
Happy trails.
Happy trails. Thanks a lot. Bye bye now. Okay, we're heading up toward the top of the hour here. Just one other note on that. I mean, when he told me that there were 1,800 chips in an F-150, and you know, we are so dependent on electronics today. What worries me about that is how long before hackers figure out how to get into some of those systems. And all of a sudden you're driving down the highway and, you know, God forbid something happens to your vehicle because somebody else is now controlling it. I just, you know, we as a society have become so dependent on technology. Everything is a computer anymore. Everything has computers in it. You can't get away from it. All right, let's take our last break, and we'll be back to close out the Art Lewis Show for this Monday.
One of the great tenors is coming. Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort proudly presents Jonathan Antoine, Saturday night, December 18th. The musical sensation of Britain's Got Talent, Jonathan Antoine. Tickets start at $25. On sale now at the Soaring Eagle and Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com. The majesty and grace of one of the great young tenors, Jonathan Antoine at Soaring Eagle Casino. Enjoy a magical Christmas with Jonathan Antoine, Saturday night, December 18th at Soaring Eagle Casino. Tickets on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with British. Remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need. Take it from a Brit.
Oi, barmy insurance bloke touching dosh out your pocket. It's barmy. Liberty Mutual won't leave you skint, mate.
Can you just say Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need?
I think that's what I said, you blooming.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
So the dream was to build your very own law practice. Be your own boss, call all the shots. But have things like billing, HR, timekeeping, and all the other management stuff turned your dream into a nightmare? With Lexicon, we're the intersection of practice management software and legal support services for your firm. You'll get more billable and livable hours back. Lexicon marks the spot for all your practice management needs. Visit lexiconservices.com/intersection to get the whole story or schedule a demo.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
All right, that's going to do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. I'm off the next 3 days. I'll be back with you Friday. I think Bill Hobson might be in tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So we thank you for being with us, and we'll talk to you Friday. Meantime, we've got news coming up from CBS. That'll be the national and international report. And we'll have the local report focusing on the Great Lakes Bay region and, of course, the state of Michigan. And then I'll be back with Focus. Today we focus on McLaren Bay and minimally invasive spinal surgery. Talk to you then, right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kathan. The United States is moving to ease pandemic restrictions on vaccinated travelers from overseas.
White House COVID czar Jeff Zients says the new policy for international travelers will take effect in early November. It lifts the existing bans on travel, but it imposes new requirements.
It will require foreign nationals.
And those flying to the U.S. will have to test negative for COVID and provide information for contact tracing.
We envision a strong contract tracing system.
Zients says the policy will apply only to air travelers, not to those crossing the land borders with Canada and Mexico. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Washington.
Pfizer says its COVID-19 vaccine works and is safe for children between the ages of 5 and 11. It'll now seek authorization from the government. Former FDA chief Dr. Scott Gottlieb says it might not be long before kids are rolling up their sleeves.
There's a possibility you could have a vaccine as early as around Halloween. Maybe a little bit later, you might lose a week here or there. But I think that if things go state and feels confident that it demonstrates that this vaccine is safe and effective for children 5 to 11, you could have a vaccine within a month to 6 weeks.
A cause of death has not been determined after the Wyoming discovery of the body of a woman who's thought to be missing 22-year-old Gabby Petito. CBS's Jerika Duncan in Florida says questions swirl around her boyfriend.
The focus is trying to find Ryan Laundrie. His parents told police they believe he's in a nearby 25,000-acre reserve. Police say they still want to speak with him and hope he could provide some answers as to how Gabby Petito died.
For now, police have called off in Florida. The Dow Jones Industrial Average sank more than 500 points when trading opened 90 minutes ago. Business analyst Jill Schlesinger says the worry is a debt-ridden Chinese developer could collapse, costing some American companies too.
A large investor coming into the session today is sitting on top of profits. This one event could cause many investors to potentially sell some of their stocks, lock in their profits, and see what happens next.
CBS's Steve Futterman says last night's Emmy Awards showed off TV's new royalty.
The Emmy goes to The Crown.
The big winner last night was the Ted Lasso won Best Comedy. Best Limited Series went to The Queen's Gambit. Last night's show was yet another indication of the growing power of streaming services. 2 of the 3 major winners came from Netflix, the 3rd from Apple Plus.
Netflix won 44 awards. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751. Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Hartel Heating Company helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Hartel Heating Company to hear more about how we can help you feel healthier and happier in your home. Call us today at 989-892-6111 or visit us online at hartelheating.com. License number 71-03370.
I am one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. I am living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell Infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Live from the 100.5 and 7. This is WSGW News.
Partly cloudy skies and 77 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Pershaw. Police responded to a shooting in Saginaw this morning. Saginaw County Central Dispatch reported the incident around 1:30 at a home in the 2500 block of East Remington Street. Police say someone fired a gun into the home, causing a graze wound to a woman's hand. There's no suspect information at this time. Police in Oscoda are investigating the death of a 3-year-old whose body was found Friday in a trash bag. Police were dispatched to a home on Cedar Lake Road 41 after a report of a human foot sticking out from the bag. Police determined the child had died as a result of foul play, and they've arrested a woman on charges of first-degree murder. The woman is not being identified until she's arraigned. A 42-mile stretch of the Tittabawassee River contains hundreds of invasive species, according to a new survey conducted by the Central Michigan Cooperative Invasive Species Management Area. The organization found nearly 770 invasive species from Edenville to Saginaw. Researchers say the failures of the dams in the spring of 2020 are the main explosion of non-native life along the river. Some of the species include zebra mussels, buckthorn, and purple loosestrife. The researchers say while there's no threat to humans, they do pose risks to wildlife in the area. They caution people to be aware of the potential impact that people might have on the environment, such as when boaters use the river, then empty their tanks in another body of water, contributing to the spread of the invasive species. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was,
Thinking it was stomach issues.
so I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. IdentifyEPI.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. Searchers have recovered the second body after 2 kayakers went missing in Lake Superior at Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. The kayakers were reported missing Thursday night in the Upper Peninsula. The bodies were recovered on Friday. The conditions for the searches were difficult. The U.S. Coast Guard said winds were blowing at 30 knots for 34 miles per hour, and waves were up to 7 feet. No names have been about what happened to the kayakers. Detroit's 3 casinos are out with their latest revenue reports. Dan Jenkins reports plenty of money was laid down.
In August, the 3 Detroit casinos reported nearly $114 million in monthly aggregate revenue. Table games and slots generated $112 million of that, and retail sports betting produced another $1.6 million. As far as market share goes, MGM accounted for 47%, Motor City 32%, and Greektown 21%. During August, the 3 casinos paid $9.1 million in gaming taxes to the state of Michigan, compared with just $5.6 million last August, when the trio COVID lockdown rules. Dan Jenkins for the Michigan News Network.
A popular Halloween-themed event held annually in northern Michigan has been canceled this fall due to concerns over the coronavirus, which include the rising number of cases in the Delta variants in the area. Fort Fright at Colonial Michilimackinac in Mackinac City was scheduled for October 8th and 9th. The event is drawn from a collection of short stories published by the Mackinac State Historic Parks and based on French-Canadian folktales brought to the Mackinac Straits areas by the voyagers during the height of the French fur trade. Organizers say staffing challenges and concerns about housing volunteers the decision to cancel the events. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1110. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers here possible late today. Otherwise, partial sunshine develops a high into the lower 80s. Winds out of the southeast around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy skies, and a low near 67. Tuesday, a chance for showers and storms, cloudy skies, a high of 75 degrees. Then by showers here with cloudy sky conditions, a high around 61. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 78.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, good morning and welcome to Focus here on WSGW. Today, we focus once again on McLaren Bay Regional Medical Center. And today we're going to talk about minimally invasive spine surgery. And we're going to do that with a very special guest this morning, Dr. Reshaduri. Doctor, good morning to you. And how close was I to your name?
That's pretty close. Thank you very much for having me. I go by Dr. Ray if it's easier for you and your listeners.
Good. I'll go by Dr. Ray. Thank you very much. I guess I need to start with minimally invasive versus traditional surgery. Explain to us the difference and how far we've come with it.
So minimally invasive surgery uses a much smaller incision than is needed for traditional open surgery. Patients who have exhausted non-surgical treatment options and who are still experiencing pain may be a good candidate for this kind of procedure. We can commonly treat herniated discs, spinal stenosis, spinal deformities, spinal instability, and certain kinds of fractures with minimally invasive techniques.
And, you know, the back is a pretty sensitive area, but do we all end up with some kind of back pain as we grow older? I mean, is it just part of the growth process?
Most people do wind up with some sort of back pain as they age. The back, just like any other portion of the body, degenerates over time. The question is who needs surgery and who does not, and that's really something that's best left to experts like myself.
So let's say we come in for surgery and we have to have surgery on our back, and you do the minimally invasive procedure. Compared to the old days, am I going to be back on my feet a lot sooner? Recovery time shorter?
Yes, the recovery period does vary, but in general, the recovery period is much shorter than with open surgery. And that has to do with the fact that there's less tissue disruption, there's less blood loss, there's shorter time for surgery under anesthesia. Part of it also depends upon the patient themselves. If you put in more effort in your recovery and rehabilitation efforts, you generally will recover more quickly.
Is there a push in medical education now to train more and more surgeons for minimally invasive? What did you do to have to become a specialist?
Right. So I am part of the second generation of neurosurgeons that trained in minimally invasive surgery. The first generation really developed minimally invasive techniques, and those are the folks that actually taught me. So my generation is bringing minimally invasive techniques out of the university and into the general community so that everyone can benefit from them.
And typically when we talk about minimally invasive surgery, is the patient still put under in traditional ways?
Yes, they are still usually under a general anesthetic. The surgery time, though, is usually quicker, and again, there's less blood loss and tissue disruption, which leads to better outcomes.
Are there still back issues that require traditional surgery?
Absolutely. There are certain kinds of fractures that are very difficult to treat using minimally invasive techniques. And there are certain cases where someone has tried minimally invasive surgery and they simply have a difficult problem by utilizing the minimally invasive techniques again.
All right, hang on. I have to take a break. We're talking to Dr. Ray at McLaren Bay about minimally invasive spinal surgery, and we'll have more on it when we return after these notes.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
So the dream was to build your very own law practice, be your own boss. But have things like billing, HR, timekeeping, and all the other management stuff turned your dream into a nightmare? Take charge of your practice with Lexicon. We're the intersection of practice management software and legal support services for your firm. You'll get more billable and livable hours back. Lexicon marks the spot for all your practice management needs. Visit lexiconservices.com/intersection to get the whole story or schedule a demo.
Vaccines are not enough. If you think vaccines alone will protect you from COVID-19, think again. Monitor regularly for fever, as it's the leading sign of COVID-19. Use Exocrine, the only thermometer scientifically proven to detect fever. Protect yourself and your family with Exocrine Temporal Scanner. Learn more at Exocrine.com.
Exocrine is changing the way the world takes time.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Saginaw Valley State University football is on WSGW.
Hit as he throws, it's incomplete. Ferris State holds on to win in overtime.
The Cardinals nearly pulled off an upset against number 2 Ferris State. The Cards must regroup fast as they visit Wayne State this Saturday at 5:30 p.m. on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. SDSU football is brought to you by Forward Energy and United Financial Credit Union.
Listen all season long as the Cardinals fly on WSGW. And from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on Focus, talking to Rashad Hurry, Dr. Rashad Hurry, or Dr. Ray as he's known, a neurosurgeon with McLaren Bay, about minimally invasive spinal surgery. You know, we live in a time this past year and a half like we've never seen before with COVID-19. How has that impacted spinal surgery? For a while, hospitals weren't doing some of those, and then patients were delaying getting it done. What's been the outcome?
Patients wait to receive care. Oftentimes, the worse their condition becomes. So if your back pain is caused by a pinched nerve, there's a higher potential to become irreversible. So at McLaren, we are running into a number of patients that now require a higher level of medical intervention due to delaying care. And even if their condition doesn't necessarily worsen, their quality of life is certainly greatly affected by patients that need spine surgery. There's actually a surge in depression. There's a worsening opioid epidemic and a lot of behavioral issues due to the pandemic. And so delaying care is really going to take a toll on patients and their physical health as well as their mental health.
That's an interesting comment you made about opioid addiction, Doctor. Typically after surgeries, sometimes we're prescribed painkillers. Have you moved away from opioids? Is there a replacement for opioids?
So I prescribe opioids for only a surgery. If someone needs long-term opioid pain medication, I always refer them to a pain management specialist so that we can make sure that patients are not getting addicted to opioid pain medication.
All right, let's talk about the patient that comes into you. First of all, how does a patient know they're a candidate for back surgery? I mean, we all have pains in our back, but we don't run to the surgeon. At what point do we do that?
So the best thing to do is to talk to your primary care doctor, and then they can decide whether or not you may need further imaging and workup for your back pain. Not everyone needs back surgery, obviously. But if you're concerned about it, you should see your primary care doctor. The other potential resource out there is visiting McLaren.org and clicking on Finding a Doctor so that you can find a provider that can.
So if I have back pain and I end up in your office talking to you, Dr. Ray, what choice do I have in terms of the choice of surgery, traditional or minimally invasive type of treatment? What's the patient's role in all of that?
So the patient is offered a choice in terms of what they want to do. Oftentimes the patient does not need surgery, and I will be the first person to tell them that surgery will not be of benefit to you. If the patient does need surgery, then I will explain to them the pros and cons of both minimally invasive and open surgery. And there are certainly times when I recommend one modality over the but generally, if a patient can be treated with minimally invasive surgery, I will not hesitate to recommend that option for patients.
How far up the spine can you go with that? By that, I mean, can you use, for example, minimally invasive surgery on the neck?
Typically, no. Usually, minimally invasive surgery is reserved for the mid to low back. The upper cervical spine is still treated with open technique, and that we don't want to injure any critical structures as we're operating on you. And so the best way to preserve important structures in the cervical spine is to open it up under traditional technique, access the space, and do what we need to do in order to treat the affected nerve.
That almost to me sounds counterintuitive. You want to protect that region around the neck, but yet you open it up rather than go in with a small incision. I know there's medical reasons for it, but it just almost sounds counterintuitive.
It is, and there's a lot of discussion about whether or not minimally invasive technique should be used within the cervical spine. In general, most practitioners would say that minimally invasive technique should be reserved for the thoracic and lumbar spine, and cervical spine should generally be treated with open technique.
Have we made any progress in treating the spinal cord that's injured?
Spinal cord injury is an extremely difficult problem. The great hope, of course, has been trying to regrow the connections within the spinal cord itself using stem cell therapy. But that has yet to yield results that can be applied to the general population. I am still hopeful that in the long term, spinal cord injury can be treated as effectively as other conditions. But it is very, very difficult to reestablish those connections in the exact same way that they were.
Yeah.
And that's been an ongoing problem for many, many years.
Well, Dr. Ray, if somebody has questions about spinal surgery, where can they get more information?
So there are a number of different resources, but McLaren.org does have some resources. Certainly WebMD has resources. Your primary care doctor may have resources, or certainly my office will have plenty of resources for most patients.
Well, thank you for spending a little time with us this morning and talking about it. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks. Dr. Richard Hurry, we thank him for joining us from McLaren Bay. We'll be back to close out. And by the way, Focus is sponsored by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's.
Come on, come in, let the fun begin.
At MichiganLottery.com, the one place you'll find exclusive games like Queen of Diamonds and Michigan Cash Draw, plus Powerball and Mega Millions that can reach $1 billion. Cash out online or at your favorite store. And all pros and businesses get 100% match on your first deposit up to $100, plus free games. Sign up with promo code RADIO. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
So play on, Michigan, 'cause we all win.
I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed. Because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I had to move out to the couch, out to the recliner, out to my son's bunk bed. That is until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Motown legends, the Temptations, the Four Tops. Saturday night, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Temps and Tops together again. Tickets start at $34. On sale now at the Soaring Eagle, at Eagles Landing box offices, or online at etix.com. T&T together again. The legendary Motown sound, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino.
Just like Legend Peterson. Ain't no woman like the one
Part of Thanksgiving weekend with the Temps and Tops at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
The way you do the things you do, the way you do, oh, baby.
Motown's Fab 5 and Famous 4. The Temptations and Four Tops. Tickets on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
It could be in retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Compromise is nice if you're at the playground or scouring yard sales, but farmers know better than winter. That's why there's Revitec fungicide, fast-acting and long-lasting, preventative and curative, disease control and stress reduction. So leave the settling to little Tommy at the seesaw, an old bargain bill, and take your full prize in yields with Revitec fungicide for uncompromised performance. Always read and follow label directions.
It's Mark Lave and Camp and Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 News Radio WSGW.
And that'll do it for Focus today. I'll be off till Friday. We'll be back with you on Friday, but others will be here during the week to bring you up to date on Focus. Time to head over to Baird and Company for our ticket tip of the day, and that's where we find Steve Anderson. Steve, good morning.
And good morning to you, sir.
Well, there was a lot of speculative negative news about the markets in the news this morning. Have they lived up to it?
Well, your speculation. The Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is down 516 points, putting it at 34,070. Volume 368 million shares. The NASDAQ is down by 305, putting it at 14,740. Volume there is 392 million shares.
And this is based on what? There's that a Chinese company may not make its debt payments?
Well, that's a good part of it. They're kind of inferring that if that happens, there's probably more to follow.
Yeah.
And that the economies are not going to hold up as well as people thought, despite the fact that all the other news is coming out good. So,
yeah,
kind of an excuse every once in a while. They got to come up with an excuse to correct.
And what is your ticket tip for the day?
A lot of people who are trying to dream up ways to get income that used to use bonds or bond funds, they're still digging around in those bond funds and various other income funds as a way to try to get a good dividend yield in today's low interest rate environment. Now, remember, you don't ever want to put your money into an income fund just because of the dividend yield it currently has. Not all of the funds are managed the same way. In short-term bonds, others in long-term, some in high-rated, some in junk and lower-rated bonds, some in preferred stocks, or some other income style. And all of those investments have different income and risk characteristics. So if you don't want to put excessive risk into your portfolio, do make sure that what's going on in the underlying fund, how are they getting those yields? And also remember that when interest rates rise from the current levels, that can have a very negative impact on the net asset value of a fund or the price of a bond. So be careful.
How do they get some help from you?
Well, you can call us right here at Baird & Company in Saginaw. The number is 790-5724. Or you can reach us in Midland at 839-9035. Also on the web, rwbaird.com, and then look for the office you wish to speak with.
All right. I'll talk to you Friday. Somebody else will be here during the week to talk to you.
That's what I heard. Someone else is going to carry the torch for you.
Somebody will. We'll talk to you then. Take care, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Steve Anderson at Baird & Company with our ticket tip of the day. Terry Annie's Farm Show comes along next.